Trevor Lawrence was just killing him. And the same guy who throws an interception early this year but makes the tackle in the open field and who played better as the year went on. Where are we with Trevor Lawrence right now?
Well, I think those are very different Alabama teams they faced in the championship, but I do think Trevor Lawrence is one of the best players in the country. I think he has a chance to go down as one of the best players in college football history. I think this game says a lot in that. He hasn't had to play the same defenses and teams this year, but in the second half, a couple weeks ago, he was a man among boys. There's something special about Trevor, which I really like him, is not just his strong arm, not just that he's athletic, but in the biggest moments of his life, he's played his best. High school, college, and I think probably one day in the NFL. And that's something you just can't teach.
Max,
Go ahead, Marcus,
I don't know if I'm a venture as far to say that he's the best player in this particular game. Joe Burrow, and what you look at what he's done, there's a hard argument that Joe Burrow has had arguably the best season for any college quarterback in the history of the game.
But I get it. That's what I'm arguing. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, for all the props that we give Joe Burrow, as well as he's played, as clutch as he's played, as tough, he won the Heisman, the whole thing, I still feel like Trevor Lawrence is better than him. You're saying no.
Well, because I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that you're focusing on upside and some of the things that we've seen. If you were just comparing this particular year, it would be a hard argument to say that anybody has been better than Joe Burrow. And this is not me defending that. I think
Marcus,
Trevor
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
There's not.
Right,
Joe Burrow
right,
has had a better season than anyone in the country.
Trevor Lawrence going forward, I think we'll have more conversations about him arguably being the best
game.
Ever.
But forward into this game is what I'm saying.
There's something that we have to make out of beating 6 top teams and from going to Texas, 3rd and 17, stepping up in the pocket. We just saw it right there against Auburn, against Alabama and T-Town, against Florida in the 4th quarter, against Georgia in the SEC championship. They waxed Oklahoma, 6 top 10 teams. That's crazy.
It's just hard, Max.
That's crazy.
Well, don't think that I don't understand what you're saying, Max. I 100% understand, but I'm not sure if you probably could go 50-50 if you was to ask somebody which one did they want in the national championship.
Let me transition to a different subject, guys, because we usually always find ourselves talking about the quarterbacks, and rightfully so. But I find myself on many occasions when I watch college football thinking, if I'm watching Nick Saban, for example, why the hell didn't you give the ball more to your running back? Because he was running the football effectively. I'm looking at Clyde EdwardsHelaire. This kid, he ran for 103 yards against Alabama. He ran for 134 yards against Florida. I'm looking here. He ran for 136 against Auburn. This brother's a rough rider, 188 against Arkansas. You give him the football, that might deliver you the national championship. That is an X factor for me. Who's the X factor for each team in y'all estimation? Clemson and LSU.
Stephen A., I totally agree with you. I think Helaire is one of the best players in the country. I think he's the 2nd most valuable player on LSU. This dude is an absolute freak. Yeah, I know he shows up and he's a short little dude and he wasn't highly recruited like a lot of the other guys. Let me just tell you something. He is an absolute freak. 550-pound squatter, 450 bencher, runs a 4.4, and nobody wants to tackle him. And on 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, anytime you get him the ball, watch out. Because he is coming and people get out of the way.
Tim, what the hell you call him little for then? Excuse me, he's short. But I don't look at a little dude. I see a short dude, but he ain't little.
Listen, I don't want to tackle him, Stephen A., okay? I don't want to tackle him.
He's thick. He's thick. Let me go to the other side of the ball, though, that you mentioned, Clyde. It was Helaire. I think people have slept on Travis Etienne, the running back from Clemson.
Yeah. That's right.
Travis Etienne is averaging 8 yards a carry this season. Like, he has been much of a catalyst for, even when Trevor Lawrence had his struggles early in the year, number 9 has been the guy every single game, every week, that you could count on to have success, and even before this season took place. So if we're trying to match X factors, I think both of these guys, and I would probably, at the running back position purely, I would give Travis Etienne the nod, but him and Clyde EdwardsHelaire cancels each other out as far as being X factors for me. I think the X factor in this game is going to be Thaddeus Moss. I think it's the tight end from LSU. Brent Venables does 2 things great. He eliminates the guys that make plays on your team, and he also creates pressure to get after your quarterback. And that usually leaves a guy, i.e. O.J. Howard a few years ago, taking advantage of what they took away was wide receiver and running game, and the tight end O.J. Howard came up big. I think Thaddeus Moss has to have sort of a similar day if they plan on winning this game against Clemson.
I know we got to go, guys. I just have a question for you. Do y'all need me down there? Over the weekend?
You and Max, come on.
You need me down there?
We need all of you. Come on,
I got things to do. I got things to do. All right? So, but do you need me down there?
Do I have time for one more quick one?
Go ahead.
And I want an answer. Guys, I know they're both good, like the quarterbacks and the running backs, but if you have to choose one, who has the coaching advantage in this game?
The question.
Clemson. They've won the last 2 out of 3. Brent Venables and Dabo knows what this is, and they know what this feeling is like. And look, for as much as we've lauded what Ed Orgeron has done, Joe Brady, Steve Ensminger, right now you go with experience in these moments. And Clemson, as we sit here today, Max, Clemson has been in this moment, and they've shown us they can win a number of ways in this game.
When I think about greatness, I think about Clemson. When I think about Magic right now, it's LSU. Ed O and it's LSU, and I'm going with Magic today.
I'm so surprised, Tim Tebow. I'm so surprised. Tim Tebow goes with the Magic. I'm so surprised. You Marcus Spears, don't you try to
just
jump
because
off
you were
the bed.
upset about seeing it.
Don't you watch your mouth, Tim Tebow. You watch your mouth. And you, Marcus Spears, don't try to jump off the bandwagon now, Mr. LSU. I'm going with Clemson.
First of all,
I'm going with Clemson, okay?
When he asked the question about coaching, I answered the damn question.
You ad-libbed, and it was a lengthy answer. I know what you were doing.
That not plain?
I thought he was going on one of your soliloquies, Stephen A.
Was that not plain and simple,
What you
Max?
flexing for, Tim Tebow? What you flexing for?
You guys sure you want Stephen A. down there in New Orleans with you?
I can't wait till y'all get here.
We want Max. Let's go.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube.
For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app.
And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.